makers and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now here's today's County-Wide.
Welcome to County-Wide. I'm Kyle Benedict, sitting down today with the Yavapai College Film and Media Arts Director, Helen Stevenson. She's here today to talk about the program, kind of retooled the Film and Media Arts program, and we're going to talk about the industry as well and how it's changed. And really, I mean, it seems like if you have the drive and whatnot, you know, you can kind of get into that. So the program, a lot going on, a lot of new stuff with that as well. So Helen, I appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So first off, tell me a little bit about yourself and your background.
I've been with the college about 2 years now, and my bachelor's degree was in film. I got from Cal State Long Beach, and then I'm working on my master's degree right now in American Media and Popular Culture from ASU. And I graduated and went to Los Angeles. I started working at KTTV in Los Angeles, an independent television station, and moved into game shows, which didn't last long. It was a little fluffy for me. The news was too depressing. The game shows were too fluffy. So we started my own production company, and we did industrial. It was called industrial, now it's called client-based videos. And that's where a client hires you to come in and do something that they're going to take to a convention or now for their website. And so we did that for a long time, moved into film, did documentaries. We did one documentary, actually. We were the fundraising video for Voyager, the plane that went around the world nonstop, non-refueled. So we did that.
Wow.
And yeah, it was fun, but I wanted to come back to Arizona where I was born and raised. And
oh, okay, so a native, yeah. Arizona native,
I
huh?
am, yes.
Great, that's awesome, man. What a fun just kind of background in history. I mean, LA, what a perfect place to start your film career, huh?
Oh yes, definitely. I was very fortunate to go straight out of school to KTTV.
Okay, great. So kind of talking about this program here at Yavapai College, I mean, on the website, yc.edu, for more information on this and just anything really with the college in general,
right.
yc.edu. There was an article on there talking about the program, and it characterized it as retooled.
Yes.
Can you explain retooled? What do you guys mean by that?
Well, the film program started in 2000. And what has happened to media? I mean, in 2000, YouTube didn't exist. To think that Hulu and Amazon would be creating their own unique content, that never occurred to people at that time. So and when it first started, digital was brand new, and now kids are born with an iPhone in their hands practically, so they know digital. It's native to them. So how do you do a film program and a media program and encompass all of those things that they already know what digital is? So what we did was we did an overarching focus on storytelling. And we contacted Bethany Rooney. She's a television director for things like CSI, those kind of TV shows. And we said, okay, what do you want from somebody who walks in the door and has a resume and says, okay, I want to work for you? And we used that too as a basis. We had a committee, an exploratory committee, and she called into that committee. And that's what it is. She said she wants students who have a little bit of know how to be professional, how to present themselves. She wants them to have something, a certificate, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. She said that's education is how she does the first sorting. Because when you get over 1,000 resumes a year, you have to have something to start that sorting. You may be the best, most brilliant filmmaker on the planet, and you just graduated high school, but if you don't have something that shows you have some stick-to-itness, she says she doesn't want that person. She wants somebody with something on paper that says, I can stick with something, I can be committed to something and do it.
Yeah. So. You know, you hear a lot of people saying, you see successful people all the time who didn't necessarily go to college, but at the same time, they ask, why do I have to go? But I guess going through a program or getting a degree, really what that shows is that you can kind of dedicate yourself, you can finish something. Obviously, you have to meet deadlines in order to graduate. Yeah. So I imagine what she looks for in I guess new people entering the industry now is a lot different than, say, even 10, 15 years ago.
Yes, because there's so many people that see media all the time and want to be a part of it. And you need to show a level of commitment. And that's what she wants. And
that's what that shows, having some sort of a degree or certificate, and then obviously to go along with your whatever videos you have to show or can present to her
Right.
what the work that you've done.
Yes.
Which you get that at school.
Right.
So, okay, it's a new, and you guys, it's over here at the Verde Valley campus, right, in Clarkdale?
Yes.
Okay.
And some of the classes are online, and some of them are hybrid, which means combined with online and in person, and they're connected via ITV. So if you happen to live in Prescott, you could take the classes also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you guys have a little partnership with Mingus Union High School as well?
Yes, we do dual enrollment with Mingus Union in their media program. So, yeah, Jeff Wood teaches that class for them, and he also teaches it for us over on the Verde Valley campus.
Yeah, that's great. So you mentioned kind of storytelling as one of the focuses. What else do kind of these students learn while they go through? What's some of the other focuses of the actual program?
Well, we do storytelling because no matter what you're doing, how you light a scene, how you position your camera, the colors you choose, all of those tell stories. So we decided, okay, that's the overarching focus. And then they learn the basic hands-on with cameras. We have brand new cameras, and they'll be learning Avid editing. It's 2 semesters of editing, and we decided on the Avid platform because the television stations and the sports teams in Phoenix use Avid.
Oh,
so
okay.
Jeff Wood is an Avid certified instructor. So if the students successfully complete both of those Avid classes, they're Avid certified. So you get an Avid certification just by taking 2 classes. So we thought, well, that's fantastic, because you wouldn't really necessarily need to take the rest of the program. Of course, it'd be better if you took the whole program. But so we're using professional software with that for beginning screenwriting, and it's writing across the screen. It's a little bit of client-based, it's a little bit of television, and it's a short film, and then how do you structure a feature film script if that's what you want to do. And then in the second semester, the production students, if they want to do a documentary, we'll guide them through, and their final thesis film will be a documentary. If they want it to be a narrative, but they're 10 minutes and under, they'll be shorts, and then we'll put them on the film festival circuit.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're kind of get out there and right away kind of hit the ground running, huh?
Yes, it's very important to get an IMDb page, and how do you do that with a short film? You get it into a film festival.
Oh, okay,
So.
great. Well, yeah, I mean, there's just so much. You touched on it a couple minutes ago, but we're going to get into it here in kind of the second segment after we take our first break here. But just talk about, since you mentioned 2000, I mean, with YouTube now and Hulu and Vimeo, cameras are becoming cheaper. You can really become your own filmmaker. So we're going to talk about that when we come back from our first break, sitting down with Helen Stevenson. She's the director of the Yavapai College Film and Media Arts program. This is Countywide. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream, that I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly, just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Conner's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
French fries. Finding best potatoes.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
back to Countywide. I'm Kyle Benedict, sitting down with the director of the Yavapai College Film and Media Arts program, Helen Stevenson. We talked a little about the program, kind of retooled and really focused to what the industry is looking for out of people just getting into that film industry, what they're looking for in candidates and people who are applying for these jobs. But you mentioned, Helen, how this industry has just changed so much just in a few years. How has the industry changed?
Well, it's gone really inexpensive to buy your own cameras and your lighting kits. And I have a friend who has worked for CNN. He has a satellite truck, and he said they're being replaced by people with cameras on their backpacks and 10 cell phones in that backpack, and they are live streaming. They go to a Starbucks and they upload it and live stream out.
And there it is, man. I mean, geez, yeah. As cameras progress, as equipment progresses, you start getting cameras that are still really, really good cameras, high quality still. I mean, they become more cheap and more available to people who might not have the formal training or whatnot, but you get your hands on a decent camera, you have a good story that you want to tell, and you upload it onto a website.
Yes.
There you go. All of a sudden, you're your own filmmaker.
And it's really based on the storytelling, though. You could have the best equipment on the planet, but if you don't know how to tell a good story in whatever platform you're choosing, then you're lost. It's not going to happen. You have to connect to people. The film, whatever you're producing, it has to move people. You have to hook them in. And it's different ways. Like YouTube is different storytelling than a short film.
Okay, yeah, YouTube, that's a very interesting one. It seems like once YouTube came into play, it changed the game.
It did.
I mean, you had just people filming their dogs, and all of a sudden they're making money off of it. And you just mentioned during the break that you're YouTube certified and you teach a YouTube class.
Right.
What does YouTube certified mean, and how does that help people, just filmmakers in general?
YouTube certified is a beta program, and I got chosen by Google to participate in this beta program. So I've toured 2 of the YouTube creator spaces, which is a whole nother story, which are awesome. And so my dean, James Perry, he's like, well, let's just teach a class in YouTube. Yeah. So that's what we have is YouTube storytelling and monetization. So it's how to tell the story and how to monetize that, if you want to. Not all of my students in the YouTube class want to monetize their video, which means put ads on and make money. Some of them, they have a product and they don't want any ads on their videos. They just want to tell people about their product. This is my product. Some of them just want to do book reviews or movie reviews. And one of them, and then some of them are like, yeah, monetize the heck out of me. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, right.
So it just depends on what your needs are for it. But YouTube is one-on-one. It's you and me together. You're connecting with your audience I mean, the biggest viewed videos in YouTube for some of these people that are huge are the tours of their houses, because that's how intimately their audience wants to know them. And now there's the Streamy Awards. It's like the Oscars for.
I mean, just there, someone taking the viewer through a tour of their house, and all of a sudden it's getting millions and millions of views.
Yes.
I mean, how do you figure out what people want to watch?
Well, you look at your analytics. It's about the numbers. So when you're a YouTube creator and you have a channel, you watch your analytics. Every time you upload a new video, you watch that the next 24 hours. It tells you when they stop watching and how long they'll watch it, and that's going to tell you right there. Like if you're just a talking head, well, people can take just a talking head. If you're not real engaging and they don't already know you, you're a new person, they can take it for a little bit, but not very long. You better be engaging them and hooking them and then giving them a reason to watch to the end. And that's what watching your analytics, it's about the numbers.
So you kind of, if you're looking just to kind of start your own vlog or whatever they call it now, or your own channel,
right?
And put up a couple videos, see what works, and then just kind of form your style around that, and kind of see what people. I mean, that's just it's amazing to me just watching it evolve. I mean, YouTube, it started out, it was like, okay, cool, now we got music videos up there and everything, and then now you start having these people who are popping up and they're making a ton of money and they're young. I mean, I think there's like twin brothers on there who do like funny things with each other, and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Right.
And so that's just a whole nother outlet. And that would that be considered a filmmaker?
Well, they're calling them media now instead of film. And it was a big debate on whether to put film in the name of the program, but we still feel we're on the cusp of things going from film to media, and film still means something. Christine Vachon, who is a big producer in the independent film world, she won't use the word film anymore. She's
Really?
got one of her film, Carol, is on the short list for an Oscar this year, and she did Boys Don't Cry, a lot of big films, and she refuses to use the word film anymore. They're not filmmakers; they're media creators.
They're media creators.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you look at some of these people like on YouTube, I mean, they're coming up with their story. They're coming up with the script that they want to follow, if they do follow a script, and then they're also editing it.
Right.
So they're kind of just taking things where you used to have, I imagine, 5, 10 different people to kind of come together, putting different parts together to create that product. Now one person is doing that.
Well, if you're it depends on what your business plan is. I mean, that's the other piece is that we teach business, basic business skills. The college has the Small Business Development Center, and I had someone come in and speak to my YouTube students because this is highly entrepreneurial. You're going to, if you're doing YouTube and you're monetizing it, you're going to have a business. And where is that money going to go? And how are you going to be taxed on that money and what forms? So it is a business, and it's back to being professional, and that's what we're trying to teach.
So if you had to kind of almost predict where the industry is going to go in the future, I mean, it seems like this, where we're at now, happens so rapidly. Where do you see it going in the future?
I think YouTube will be the next television network. I think they're going to start looking for 22 and 44-minute content. And I think that it's just going to keep going the way it is. We see how Netflix is doing, and it's going to be interesting for the film festival circuit because you don't have as long to get a movie into a film festival. Because if the filmmaker makes a movie, they want to make their money back as soon as possible. They're going to put it on video on demand, or they're going to put it on a platform that works for them. So filmmakers are going to need to be business people. That's the bottom line.
Okay, and that kind of comes back to the kind of well-rounded thing that you were talking about with your friend from, I believe, CNN. What she's looking for is people who can kind of do all this stuff. Right.
Yeah. Well, she's does television for like CSI for network television, and those networks, they're going to have to go with the and they are. You see them. They're getting online content. They're slowly getting. Going to catch up, and they started this original content. Remember the movie of the week, those kind of things. So they were on the cusp of that, but you need to be open and see what's happening and go through those doors that open.
Yeah, I mean, even in journalism school, they talk about you need to know how to find the story, that you need to know how to interview, how to shoot it, how to edit it, and how to put it all together and just produce it and pretty much everything in general, because once, when the recession hit and people started, it was like, okay, now we have a guy over here or a gal over here who can do everything in one and create this story on their own. And that's, I mean, what a valuable asset to be able to do all that.
That's right.
Okay, great. Well, we got to take our second break already. So we're sitting down with Helen Stevenson, director of the Yavapai College Film and Media Arts Program. This is Countywide. We'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Mom.
Visit AARP.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Welcome back to Countywide. Just a couple minutes left here today. Sitting down again, Helen Stevenson. She's the director of the Yavapai College Film and Media Arts program. And for more information on just Yavapai College in general, or to learn more about this program, yc.edu. Also a good phone number, 928-649-4284, just in general. For more information, there it is on the screen. And just, I guess, Yavapai College, open enrollment started, right?
Yes, enrollment is open right now. Some of the classes don't need prerequisites, so there's some really good classes on if you want to be a better screenwriter, just iconic films, review and criticism. We have an advanced screenwriting class, the directing, camera coverage and sound, and the pre-production class is how to do the forms. These are industry standard forms from entertainment partners that are used by Sony and Disney and everybody on your budgeting and your scheduling. So we're doing a whole class on pre-production, getting your releases, keeping you out of trouble as a filmmaker, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's sure, whenever you're going around filming people and, you know, you have to get that permission and you don't want to end up on the wrong side of the legal deal. So,
right.
And we talked about, actually, before the program, some of the teachers, the different instructors that you have who have some of that experience, which I'm sure has to be extremely valuable for the students.
It's very valuable. People love the instructors, too, and that's really a great component of who we've chosen is Dave LeLightner. He's got a lot of industry experience. He's got over 200 videos, films, documentaries, you know, music videos. He's got over 200 credits.
Wow.
So we're very fortunate to have him. He has his master's from Loyola Marymount. Jeff Wood has his master's from Cal State Riverside, and he has industry experience, and he's a really good screenwriter. I know his mentor, so I know who taught him to screenwrite. So it's great. And he teaches at Mingus Union, and he does our dual enrollment, and he teaches for us. So it's a really good package with Jeff. And Lindsay Bain, she did commercials for L'Oreal in New York and different cosmetic firms, and so that's part of the business part of this, is teaching them how to do client-based, and commercials, of course, are client-based videos.
Yeah, client-based videos. And I guess just right there with your instructors, you start already kind of gaining those relationships and those contacts for the future, maybe.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, great. Well, Helen, thank you so much for being here today. We're out of time, but
you're quite welcome, and I brought you a hat.
Oh, sweet! I love hats. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Film Media Arts program, great. Well, good luck on next semester and everything, and the program, I mean, again, retooled, so it's just, I'm sure, trying to keep up with that changing industry. But thanks for coming in today and talking about it.
Thank you for having me.
That's going to do it today for Countywide. I'm Kyle Benedict. We'll see you next time.